Welcome back to the lab. My name is Dr. Scott Diabolical, Evil Genius, and this is part 3 of how to make lightning. Today I'm going to show you how to create the lightorama sequences that control your lights, how to build those sequences up into a show, and how to schedule the show to run for your event. Let's get started. If you've made it this far in the video series, I'm going to assume you're serious about building this prop. I'm also going to assume that you've already purchased your lightorama system and that you have installed your software. First thing we're going to need to create a sequence is an audio track of lightning sounds. For this video, I'm just going to show you where I downloaded the one I used last year. We'll open up a web browser and we're going to search for Download Free Thunder Sound Effects with an S. Then we'll scroll down and select Download Free Thunder Sound Effects Mix Kit. When the site opens, we'll click on Manage Preferences and then on Use Necessary Cookies Only. Then we'll scroll down and find a file called Strong Close Thunder Explosion. We'll click on the small black button to download it. We should be downloading the file called Mixit Strong Close Thunder Explosion 1300.wav. I'm going to save the file. Click OK. Then we'll choose the destination for the download. We're going to click on the LOR folder and then on the audio subfolder. This is the default that Lightorama uses to store audio clips. We'll wait for the download complete icon, and then we'll close the browser. Next, we'll open the Lightorama control panel, and then we'll select Sequences. Then we'll click on New Musical Sequence. The pop-up should default to the LOR audio folder, and we'll scroll down and select the file that we just downloaded. The next pop-up gives us the option to select either an existing preview or a quick preview. My existing is Christmas and I don't want to use that, so I'm going to click on Quick Preview. You can change the name of the preview here if you want to. I'm just going to leave it at the default. We're connecting Lightorama devices, so we'll leave that alone and make sure that our channels are set to 16. This assumes that you are using a single controller. File name is correct. You can change the title here if you want to, but I'm going to leave it alone. And then finally, we'll look at initial timing. The timing marks are how we control which channel is turned on and when. You can either use the wizard to create timings, or you can use equally spaced timings. If you're using equally spaced timings, I recommend 10th second intervals. But keep in mind, once you set these, they are fixed. You cannot move or adjust them. And that's something we want to do with this effect. So we're going to use the VU wizard. For audio information, we want waveform only, and then we'll uncheck the Save These Choices as Defaults button, because we do not want to save them as defaults. Then click on Create. When the VU wizard opens, we'll leave our time range set to the entire song. We'll leave attack and decay set to the defaults. Then we'll change the peak threshold time on from 8% to 38%. I've determined this is a good conservative setting for this audio clip. If you're using a different audio clip, you'll have to experiment with your time on and see what works best for you. Now let's preview the settings by clicking on Start. That looks good, so we'll click on Apply and Exit. Now we can see what Lightorama calls the grid form. Along the top, we have the waveform representation of our audio track, and down the sides, we have our channels listed. You'll see we have unit 1, 0 through 16. This is Lightorama's most basic setup, but it works very well for AC channels. On the toolbar, we have an undo button, a bunch of buttons that you don't need to worry about right now, an entire section for playing back previews of the sequence, a section for zooming in and zooming out, and a box to lock and unlock the timing marks. These are the individual timing marks. They control the start and stop points of the individual cells, and the cells are where we apply the individual effects that control each channel and the lights that are connected to them. Now let's play the sequence by clicking on the All button. I can hear a lot of activity in this section, but I'm not really certain what's going on in the first cell. So let's play the first and the second cells together. To do that, we'll click on the Select button, and then we'll left click and drag across the first and second cells to highlight them. Then we'll click on the Play Selection button. I can hear something here and here, but I'm still not sure what's going on in the first cell. So let's highlight it and play it by itself. Okay, I can hear a little bit of the lightning starting in cell number 1, but I don't want it there. So what we need to do is move the timing mark. To do that, we'll unlock the timings, and then we'll hover over the timing mark until the cursor changes to the double arrows. Then we'll left click and slide the timing mark until we get it exactly where we want it. Then we'll highlight the first cell and play it again. That sounds better. So let's play the second cell now. I can hear something going on right here, so let's add a new timing mark for it. I'll right-click on the cell and then select Insert Timing at 1.15 from the dropdown. Then I'll highlight the first 3 cells and play those. Let's play the second cell again by itself. Now let's play the third cell by itself. The cracking sound you hear is the lightning hitting the tree in the ground. We want to isolate that so we can give it its own effect. We'll right-click to create a new timing mark. Then we'll highlight the new cell and we'll play it. Now we'll play 3 and 4 together. Now let's run through everything again. That's the highlights. Now let's fill in the details. We'll right-click on the first cell, select Subdivide Timings, and divide it into 2 cells. Now we'll right-click on the third cell and divide it into 5 cells. That gives us a total of 8 small cells, 1 for each of our channels. Now let's start adding the effects. We'll click on the Create button. Intensity is max, effect type is channel, and the channel effect we'll use is shimmer. The mouse pointer changes to the pencil icon, and then we can left click on each cell to fill it in with the shimmer effect. Channel 1, then 2, then 3 and 4 together, then 5, then 6. Channel 7 is the branch of the lightning that connects to the strike itself, and channel 8 is the strike that comes down the tree. Channel 9 is the floodlights. We want all three of these channels to come on at once when we hear the crack of the lightning, so we'll skip them for now and just fill in the remainder of the channels with the shimmer effect. Now we'll switch the channel effect tool to on and fill in the next column for all 9 channels. Now let's play the sequence. We'll switch back to the Select tool, highlight the first few cells, and then play them. When we do, watch the left side of the grid matrix. You'll see the channels turn on as the sequence progresses. Now let's create a few more cells. These will be used on channel 9 to flicker the floodlights after the lightning strike occurs. They correspond to the thunder. Now let's fill those in. We'll switch back to the Create tool, Max, Channel, Shimmer. I'm having trouble clicking on that cell because it's so small. So let's go up to the zoom function and click on Time In. Now I'm able to fill the cell. That should be everything we need. Now we'll switch back to the Select tool and play all. Everything looks good to me, so we'll click on the Save button. Then we'll verify the target folder. The default is sequences, but I have a subfolder within there called Halloween, so that's where my file is going. Then I'll give the file a new name. I'm going to call this one Lightning Test 02. I'm going to verify that it's saving as LOR-S5/S6 sequence. And now we can exit out of the sequence creator. And now you should see the sequence you just created on the Lightorama control panel. I have a whole lot more than you do because I've been at this longer than you have, but this is where all of your recent sequences will appear. Now we'll click on Create Shows and then on the New button. Shows are like a playlist for Lightorama sequences. You can include a single sequence, or you can include multiples. I'm going to show you how to create a main show, but Lightorama does have the option to create a startup and a shutdown show as well. You have the option to play your sequences sequentially in the order that they're listed, or play them shuffled. If you choose the shuffled option, you also have the option to allow them to be repeated before the full playlist is completed, and you have the option to allow the same song to be played back to back. In this example, we're going to choose Play Sequentially. We want 0 seconds delay between each sequence, and we're not running a cleanup sequence. We'll click on the plus icon to add a sequence. We'll choose the folder where our sequences are saved, and then we'll scroll down and select the sequence that we just created. Now we'll repeat those steps and add a few more sequences to our show. If you want to change the order that the sequences play in, you can simply highlight one of the sequences and use the up or down arrows to move it around. You also have the option to remove, replace, cut, copy, and paste sequences. That's not a dog. The last thing we're going to do is create a schedule to run our shows. We'll click on Dates and Times. Then we'll set the schedule to active. And for this example, we're going to choose Add Weekdays. I want to start the show at 5 p.m. each night, which is the default, but I want to end it at 9 p.m. each day. So we'll change the hours column to 9. You can also start and end your shows each day at sunrise, sunset, civil dawn, civil dusk, nautical dawn, or nautical dusk if you happen to be a pilot or a pirate, or you just enjoy feature creep. Now we'll set our date range. I want the show to start running on October the 27th, and I want the last show to run on Halloween night. Since those are all weekdays, we'll uncheck the box for Sunday and check the box for Friday. If we don't check the box for Friday, the show will not run on Halloween even though our schedule is enabled. We'll check all of our settings one more time just to verify that everything is set up correctly. Now we can save the show. We'll click on the Save button. We'll give the file a new name. We'll verify that we are saving it into the Sequences folder. And finally, we'll click the Save button. Last, we'll close the Lightorama control panel. That should be everything you need from me to get started building this lightning prop. If you haven't already done so, I highly encourage you to visit Lightorama's Getting Started webpage. There's more information there than what I can share in a single video. I also recommend checking out two YouTube channels. The first is called Luminous Harmony, and they have a ton of Lightorama how-to videos. The second is called Listen to Our Lights, all one word. That's John Storms' page. John Storms has been using Lightorama since day one. Most of his channel is dedicated to pixels these days, but his older videos are still very relevant. They're how I learned to program. You'll find links to everything in the description below. If you have any questions or if I missed anything, please let me know in the comments. And if this video series meant something to you and you want to say thanks, I do have a Buy Me a Coffee page. Buy Me a Coffee lets you make a one-time donation without any subscriptions, simply by using a credit card. It's just like a tip jar. That's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.